Check. 3, 2, 1.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mic check, 1098-765.
Right now at 9, Atlanta police looking for the man who took a 2-year-old from her mother. We're live on the massive search. Plus, Atlanta Hawks with the win tonight in Game 4. A look at how the arena looked.
And it is cooling down again this evening. 60s out there in many spots right now, but warmer weather not far away. I'll let you know if we'll get in here for Memorial Day.
This type of gun violence has to stop. Every weekend it's the same thing.
A deadly weekend in South Florida. The latest on the search for the suspects who killed 2 people and injured dozens.
This is CBS 46 News at 9 on Peachtree TV.
Thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Sean Gables. Tonight we begin with a crime alert. Right now, a man on the run accused of taking a baby from her mother in Southwest Atlanta. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston live at Atlanta Police Headquarters. And Yasmina, police, they are looking for someone right now.
Sean, that's right. Police say they are looking for 24-year-old Tremaine Hines. They say he took a 2-year-old child from her mother after they say he stabbed her.
It's tragic. They should leave the babies alone.
Tonight, 2-year-old Tamar Macy is safe after she was taken from her home early Sunday morning. Atlanta police say they are still looking for 24-year-old Tremaine Hines. According to investigators, Hines took the child after he got into a violent domestic dispute with her mother. Some neighbors tell me they saw police in the area but didn't know why.
They are our future, and what I don't understand is why they always messing with the baby, and that's what hurts me the most.
This happened on Epworth Street in Southwest Atlanta, where the child was last seen. A relative of Hines later brought the 2-year-old to the DeKalb County Jail. Police say Hines may have used MARTA to leave the area. They believe he was wearing a brown suit jacket and bucket-style hat with a flower design. Dolores Johnson and Coach China were in the area and tell me they work with kids through Atlanta D-Squad Entertainment, so these type situations upset them.
I look at my phone all the time, and I just be seeing babies, little kids. Come on now. Let them live.
And police say if you see Hines or know where he is, you are asked to call 911. We'll, of course, keep you updated on this story. Live in Atlanta, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
Yasmina, thank you. And right now a search is underway for a man missing in Shoal Creek on Lake Lanier. Rescue crews say just after 9 o'clock last night, a man left his inflatable raft to try to retrieve an oar. He went under, never resurfaced. The man's identity has not been released. Now to our crime alert tonight. Doraville police investigating a homicide after a woman was found dead inside her car. She was found around 9:30 last night on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, just south of Tilly Mill Road, with a gunshot wound. The investigation is ongoing, but if you have any information, that can help. Please call Doraville Police Department at the number you see on your screen. And new developments tonight following a shooting at an Atlanta gas station overnight. Police say 2 men got into an argument inside the BP gas station on Powers Ferry Road. Both men then walked outside, and that's when one of them opened fire. The victim was grazed by a bullet. The shooter remains on the run. Staying in Fulton County, 2 men shot on Lucky Street. Police say this happened around 8:30 last night. They say 2 men were walking to their car when they heard gunshots. They were both struck, but we checked. They will be okay. The victims told police they do not know who shot them or why. 2 houses in Atlanta burn up after an early morning fire. Take a look at the damage left behind. Fire crews say when they got on the scene near the intersection of Murphy and Langston Avenues, the houses were completely engulfed. We are still checking to see if anyone was inside any of those homes and if their conditions are okay. Right now, a live look outside. Cool night. Going to get even more cooler. Let's see if it's going to be cold for Memorial Day. Let's go straight to meteorologist Fred Campagna. What can we expect tomorrow and then later this week?
Well, it's all relative, Sean. Tomorrow morning, not as cool as this morning, but it'll be in the 50s early, which for this time of the year is cool. The temperature is going to warm pretty quickly, though, tomorrow morning. A little breeze out there. This is early this evening, live look here at Midtown. So it's just a beautiful evening, but that temperature is settling back. 70 now for Atlanta and for Covington, 73 for Locust Grove. Carrollton, though, is already down to 63, and in Blairsville it's in the upper 50s. Skies are clear as we just saw, so we're in good shape for the rest of tonight as these temperatures fall off. Notice how there will be some legitimately cool spots like Blairsville at 48 degrees, Carrollton and Dalton both at 51, but just below 60 in Atlanta to start the day tomorrow. Looks like a nice Memorial Day, a little bit warmer than what we saw, what we have seen so far this weekend. So at 10 in the morning, the temperatures climbing out of the 60s and into the low 70s. And here's how things will look for you Monday, midday and afternoon. So 71 at 10, 3 o'clock, about 81 degrees. And by 8 o'clock, that temperature is still in the upper 70s. Our high temperature tomorrow should be right around 82, which is just a couple of degrees below normal for this time of the year. Warm up, though, on the way for the middle of this week, so it's going to start to feel like early summer again. And we also have some showers and some storms to talk about in the 7-day forecast. We'll get to that coming up.
All right, thank you, Fred. Today, the Atlanta Hawks, they won Game 4 against the Knicks at State Farm Arena. The game was packed. Fans ecstatic to be back together. This was a long-awaited moment due to the pandemic. CBS 46's Tori Cooper reports fans were comfortable returning to the stands to cheer on the Hawks.
Many of the fans I had a chance to speak with were already vaccinated. They told me they still had their mask with them so they could help follow the rules in place. But they told me overall they felt comfortable being here together once again for the first playoff game at home in 4 years. Seats at State Farm Arena are finally selling out once again.
It's amazing to be back.
After a year of keeping Hawk fans cooped up in their nest at home, many were ready to flock together once again.
The people, the contact, the cheering, the excitement.
Just the atmosphere of the game.
The Hawks say masks are still required unless you're eating or drinking, but they are not strictly enforcing it unless you wanted to sit courtside. You had to be tested on the spot, show proof of vaccination, and you were still required to keep your mask on.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm glad I got my vaccine. Look, got a mask in my back pocket. Don't play with me.
If you're 15 feet away from the court, you didn't have to show proof of vaccination. There were still many vaccination sections scattered throughout the arena, making fans feel welcomed and secured.
I feel safe. I have my vaccination. I think everybody around me talked about it. We all have it, so I feel very, very comfortable.
Hawk fans who showed got a free shirt and were elated to be out of the house for some fun.
Can I get my 6 feet? Can I get my 6 feet?
With their home team.
Go Hawks!
Now everyone is gone now, but considering that the Hawks got the win tonight, that means fans will be heading to Madison Square Garden for Game 5. We're in State Farm Arena. I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.
Tori, thank you. CBS 46 is your vaccine team. About 51% of the U.S. population have received at least one dose of the coronavirus vaccine, and around 41% are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The CDC reporting the 7-day average for vaccinations has settled at about 1.3 million doses per day. Rural and poor areas of the U.S. are lagging behind in vaccinations. In Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp saying no to masks in school. He signed an executive order today, or rather he signed it yesterday, banning schools from forcing students to wear masks Several districts, including Atlanta Public Schools and DeKalb County, say they will continue to require masks despite the order. The FEMA vaccination site at Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be closing on June 7th. Thousands have gotten shots at the Falcons Stadium since vaccinations began in March. The vaccine will be available at most pharmacies and healthcare facilities. Tonight, police in Miami looking for the assailants who opened fire at a Florida club, killing at least 2 people and wounding at least 20 more. Melissa Rainey reports it's not the only act of violence made in the Miami-Dade area just over the last few days.
A violent holiday weekend in South Florida. In the early morning hours Sunday, police say a white SUV pulled up to a club in Miami-Dade County and 3 people opened fire on the crowd standing outside.
3 subjects stepped out of the vehicle with assault rifles and handguns and began shooting indiscriminately into the crowd, of which we believe is a targeted act of gun violence.
That apparent targeted act left at least 2 people dead and 20 more hurt. Victims were rushed to several different hospitals, some in personal vehicles.
My son was hit once in the abdomen area, and then my nephew or cousin, he was shot, grazed in the abdomen and 3 times in the leg.
Miami's police chief says the shooting's an example of how gun violence has gotten out of hand recently.
That's the second shooting in the greater Miami-Dade area. We had our own shooting the night before where 7 people were shot and 1 dead. So that's 30 shot, 2 dead in the greater Miami area, Metro-Dade area, Miami-Dade area. And it's just an indication of the problem we have with the scourge of gun violence in this country.
Authorities are asking people with information about either shooting to come forward. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Now, the CEO of Camping World has committed $100,000 toward a reward for the arrest and conviction of the people involved in this morning's club shooting in Miami-Dade County. President Biden spending the morning honoring military families, the message he had after losing one of his own.
It just makes me feel better to sit and talk to him.
Plus, honoring our fallen heroes, how this week will look a lot different at national veteran cemeteries across the country.
And one of the reasons it's been so cool at night lately, the air is really dry and it stays that way through Memorial Day into Tuesday. Notice though, we start to get into some muggier weather by late in the work week. We'll also talk about an increasing risk of some rain in North Georgia. Your 7-day forecast is coming up.
You're watching CBS 46, winner of the Regional Murrow Award for Overall Excellence.
Tomorrow is Memorial Day, and there are several locations in Metro Atlanta where you can pay your respects to fallen heroes. In Powder Springs, American Legion Post 294 will hold its annual Memorial Day ceremony. The event will take place at noon tomorrow at the Powder Springs Veterans Memorial in front of the Powder Springs Library. The City of Alpharetta and the Rotary Club of Alpharetta will host a tribute with a performance of the national anthem, a keynote speaker, and more. This event will be strictly virtual. It starts at 9 a.m. And the City of Dunwoody Parks and Recreation Department will hold its annual Memorial Day celebration. It will be held at the Brook Run Park Veterans Memorial on North Peachtree Road. The ceremony is open to the public and co-hosted by Dunwoody's Veteran Events Planning Committee. It starts at 10 a.m. And be sure to turn to CBS 46 to get everything your family needs to know for Memorial Day weekend. We have a special section dedicated to holiday news on CBS46.com and the CBS 46 streaming app. Well, today, President Biden, he honored those Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of the nation during a Memorial Day service in Delaware. He told military families, quote, "We must remember the price that was paid for our liberties, and we must remember the debt that we owe those who paid it." He also spoke about the pain of losing a son or daughter.
I know how much the loss hurts. I know the black hole that leaves in the middle of your chest. It feels like you may get sucked into it and not come out. Greetings like this in gatherings help. And while I know nothing I can say to ease the pain, I just know that each year it gets a little bit easier. And I promise you the day will come when the mention of the name of your son or daughter, husband, wife, they will in fact bring not a tear to your eye, but a smile to your lips.
The president's son, Beau Biden, was a veteran who died 6 years ago from brain cancer. Today, President Biden also repeated a line he has said many, many times before, that the one true obligation we have as a country is to do everything we can to equip and protect those who serve. New tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris' office is now responding after she was criticized for this picture she tweeted. She posted herself on Twitter Saturday, captioned, "Enjoy the long weekend." Many critics on social media faulted the vice president for not attributing the long Memorial Day weekend to the sacrifices made by service members. The vice president's office said she had already pre-scheduled a tweet for today about remembering the service and sacrifice of America's servicemen and women. Happening tomorrow, more than 150 national veterans cemeteries will open to the public this Memorial Day without any COVID restrictions. Over the weekend, families and loved ones visited Section 60 at the Arlington National Cemetery, where the fallen from Iraq and Afghanistan are buried. Marine Lance Corporal Terry Honeycutt was only 19 when he stepped on a landmine in Afghanistan in 2010. His youthful idealism is etched on his headstone.
It just makes me feel better to sit and talk to him. I have never seen Arlington be more empty.
Does that make a difference in the way you feel when you go there?
I like to see Arlington have visitors because every single person that's buried there deserves to be remembered.
For the past year, COVID has kept Arlington closed to everyone except family.
Now, CBS 46 Pinpoint Weather, certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast.
Unfortunately, in the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, this Memorial Day weekend has been historically bad weather-wise. They've had inches of rain with a couple of stubborn storm systems. And look at these temperatures. New York City, 50 degrees, D.C., 55, about 25 degrees colder than normal. Boston, 50. The high temperature today in Boston was only 52, I think. So really, really chilly stuff. Now, we've been a little bit cooler than normal as well, but we will get closer to normal tomorrow afternoon. So 10 in the morning for some of those services that are happening, 68 degrees, 3 in the afternoon, about 81. And by 8 o'clock in the evening, probably 79 in the city. Outside of the city, it'll be closer to 75 degrees. Right now, it's below 75 across the board as the temperature's cooling off pretty quickly this evening. 70 for Covington, LaGrange, and Atlanta, 72 for Locust Grove, and 63 for Carrollton, 64 for Canton. So another cool night, another night where you don't really need air conditioning as that temperature is going to fall into the 50s for just about everyone, and where it doesn't reach the 50s, it may reach the 40s up in Blairsville very early tomorrow. But the temperature climbs through the 60s, and by midday, it's well up into the 70s. And late tomorrow afternoon, I think we're between about 78 and 82 for that high temperature across the board. So really nice weather to end the Memorial Day weekend. Tuesday, it starts to feel a little bit more like late spring, early summer, as we'll see the temperature early in the day between about 60 and 65. Early in the afternoon, it's climbing up into the low 80s, and by later in the afternoon, it's not far from normal. 84, 85 in Atlanta. You see a blend of clouds and sunshine, and you also see dry skies in the forecast for Tuesday. However, we are heading for Some wet weather coming our way a little bit later on in the work week. Now, the temperature is going to continue to rise for us on Wednesday. You'll notice those nighttime temperatures getting warmer as well. So the humidity will be building. In fact, a lot of kids out of school, so they'll be spending some time in the backyard this week, maybe in the pool. And by Tuesday, mid-80s, and by Wednesday, mid and upper 80s. As clouds tend to gather a little bit late in the day, there is a low risk, only a 20% chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. You'll see on Atlanta's most accurate 7-day forecast that the risk of showers and storms goes up on Thursday and Friday, so putting it at about 50% each of those days, with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Low temperatures will be in the upper 60s, so that tells you that the muggy weather is back in play, and it looks pretty close to normal for us for the first weekend of June. 30% chance of scattered storms, mainly during the afternoon. They'll be hit and miss, and temperatures will be in the middle 80s.
All right, thank you, Fred. And of course, get pinpoint weather and traffic with our CBS 46 streaming app. Download it in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Coming up, a woman saved in a river rescue on the Chattahoochee. Now the two heroes who gave the gift of life are getting their own reward. The CBS 46 Surprise Squad at it again.
Today is National Sunscreen Day. So if your child prefers an SPF -4, you may want to watch this story. Consumer Reports is rating sunscreens. That story's coming up.
The CBS 46 Surprise Squad is sponsored by United Community Bank and Dunkin'.
A date night that doesn't go quite as planned, an evening at work that takes an unexpected life-changing twist. The CBS 46 Surprise Squad makes 2 stops this week. Here's Gavin Mcleod.
We headed first to Marietta.
Here we have this chance that we can celebrate this thing that he did off duty.
Were you not expecting us?
I was not.
3 hours later, just down the road.
We're here because we want to honor you for what you did a few days ago.
I didn't work the night that it happened, but when I heard that it was him, I wasn't surprised at all.
All
We're sitting right here.
because of what happened here.
And it looks a lot higher than it did that day.
At Canoe Restaurant.
Hi, Turtle.
2 weeks ago.
Hannah and her mom, we were hanging out.
Marietta police officer Ryan Smith recounts the evening out with his girlfriend Hannah and her mother to celebrate Mother's
And
Day.
then you see her floating all the way out in the river right in the center.
Tim Eskew was working the bar that night.
There's literally 100 people here, and hey, it's somebody in the river.
We saw her drifting down the center of the river up ahead.
Neither man knew how the tide was about to turn.
Nobody goes tubing by themselves.
What we really kind of saw was weird was the raft was completely deflated almost. That's when we started asking, hey, do you need help? Are you okay?
There was no answer from the water.
There's another young man, stripped down to his shorts. And I said, it looks like we're going in. He said, yeah, it does.
We got on in basically right down there. I'm like, okay, it's not too bad. And then I took one more step and then all that water just came rushing up to my chest. I'm like, oh gosh.
Ryan's girlfriend Hannah recorded it all.
We caught up with her underneath the bridge.
We devised a plan. He was gonna push, I was gonna pull.
And got her back over here, warmed her up. She was ice cold, blue, shivering. and she couldn't talk. She was that cold.
The backstory to how the woman ended up alone for 2 hours floating in the river isn't clear. What is clear is that these two men saved her life.
She was exhausted. It seemed like she's been trying to stay up above water the whole entire time, and as I said, she was just purple. So she was freezing cold.
She might not have made it.
Her raft was busted up. You get past here, nobody else is going to see you.
Then Tim went back to work. Ryan reported for his overnight shift at Marietta PD. And the CBS 46 Surprise Squad headed to Cobb County to say thank you to both.
We've got $600 in gift cards to cover your coffee for the rest of the year. We've got 2 tickets for you and your wife to be able to go to an Atlanta United match, your game of choice.
And a little something else.
So United Community Bank is another one of our sponsors. So we've got a check for you for $1,000, which will go towards perhaps helping Hannah get that ring.
Thank you. Oh, what? Guys, this is awesome.
So there you
go.
go.
It's a $1,000 gift card. Thank you.
But what we found is that money can't buy the gift that matters the most.
It just kind of died down at home, but I'm sure this is going to bring it all right back. Daddy's a hero, which there are worse things to be.
For the CBS 46 Surprise Squad, I'm Gurveer Dinsa.
And by the way, that $1,000 should come in handy for Tim. He and his wife welcomed baby girl number 3 just last week. Congratulations to them. Now, if you know someone doing something good in their community, send us a nomination at surprisesquad@cbs46.com. Next at 9, overcoming the odds to reach a major milestone, the big celebration for a local graduate and her hero.
We often don't have access to literal or figurative safe spaces.
Plus, how a new website is helping to keep the LGBTQ community safe from hate crimes. We'll tell you how the Lavender Book works. But before we head to break, here's Genevieve Gorder with America Steals and Deals.
You guys, I have your answer to a good sleep. And I'm not kidding. I know you all have pillows that you maybe want to throw away or haven't been able to find the right one. Guilty. I am so picky about what I sleep on, and I can never find the right pillow for myself. I'm a side sleeper, but whether or not you're a side, you're a back, you're a stomach, the Pillow Bar pillow is your answer to a good sleep. I'm not kidding. These came in the mail, and I was so excited because I have not found the right pillow for me, and I'll wake up with like a neck ache or a back ache. You know, something aches if you're not sleeping correctly. These came to the door, and it was like that moment you get into a bed when there's brand new pillows in a hotel, and you lean back and you're like, why can't the pillows be like this at home? Now they can. And what's so great about the Pillow Bar is these were developed to solve a problem. The founder's husband had just recovered or was recovering from back surgery, and she worked with both neurosurgeons and chiropractors to create a pillow that wouldn't give him back pain as he was healing. I love that story. It's a love story. They're hypoallergenic, so any of you with sensitivities, you're not going to be allergic to these. They're made in the USA. And they also have the petite pillow and the standard pillow have a satin cover. And for those of you who are not familiar with satin pillowcases, what they do is they help soften the hair and the skin while you're sleeping. So why wouldn't you always sleep on satin, right? We're also offering the Jet Setter, which is the travel version of this. You guys, this is a combed poly, and the density is just right. It doesn't turn into a pancake, and it isn't too firm where it hurts the side of your neck. I cannot say enough great things about these pillows. Take advantage of our deal today. We are offering 20 to 36% off, you guys. Get them for the whole house at asadeals.com.
CBS 46, winner of the Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence.
Get ready to hear a lot of fireworks as Georgians celebrate Memorial Day. And here are just a few reminders. Listen up. Fireworks can only be set off until 11:59 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's already passed, but Sunday is now, so you've only got a few more hours. It is illegal to use fireworks with 100 yards of gas stations or hospitals, and you cannot set them off in parks or historic sites either. Be sure to check with your individual county or city for more specifics. Let's take a sneak peek outside. It was an absolutely fantastic Sunday. Memorial Day is coming and the temperatures are plummeting. How cold is it going to get, Fred?
Well, it'll be cool tomorrow morning for this time of the year, but I think we'll be all right as temperatures will climb through the 60s pretty quickly during the morning tomorrow. Here's a live look out there right now. We've had a couple of nice evenings for fireworks, albeit a bit cool. 67 right now for Smyrna, 70 for Midtown, Buckhead 69 degrees, 63 right now up in Crabapple. It's about the coolest we can find in the northern suburbs. You go a little farther to the north, up in Blairsville, it's in the 50s already, and it's about to get into the 50s in Carrollton. So another cool overnight for us, but lots of sunshine to enjoy on Memorial Day. Look at the temperatures bottoming out at 59 in Atlanta. That is a little bit milder than it was early this morning. And see how it gets up to 72 by 11 in the morning, 78 by 2 in the afternoon, and we're likely up into the lower 80s in the Atlanta metro area on Monday afternoon. So Austell about 81 degrees, Smyrna up to about 81, Douglasville right around 80, Alpharetta you're looking great at 81, Decatur as well at 82. Decent dose of sunshine for us for tomorrow. The temperature in Lawrenceville should be right around 80 degrees. It's a little bit cool for this time of the year, but today was gorgeous. I think tomorrow will be as well. Notice how we continue with dry skies on Tuesday. Our rain chances increase as we get into the mid to late work week. And at the same time, we'll be watching the temperature go up as well. The normal high is 84, very close to that on Tuesday, and then slightly warmer than that on Wednesday and Thursday. So more details to share with you on the 7-day forecast. And we'll do that in about 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Fred. Right now, social media, it is flooded with posts of graduates getting their diploma, but we found one celebrating a student that some thought would never make it. Tonight, she beat the odds, and her family threw a bash to also celebrate her teacher.
So what about Banneker? Do you love Banneker? You do. You love being a Sparkle cheerleader. You love Miss Lewis and her classroom.
Zoe has limited vocabulary, but her smile says it all.
Zoe has us ride by Banneker on the weekends just to pass by Banneker because that's how much she loves that school.
4 years ago, graduation seemed impossible.
The challenges of having a special needs child is just having a child be accepted.
Zoe, who had just transferred to Atlanta's South Side, required intensive training to read, write, as well as occupational therapy. Zoe's favorite teacher at Banneker High School spent countless hours going above and beyond, made all the difference.
A lot of things are taught in the classroom. As far as, you go to school, become a teacher, get your degree, all of that good stuff, pass the test, you teach. But the things that these teachers show, it has to be in you. You can't learn that in any type of classroom.
Kayla Lewis, a 21-year veteran educator, dedicated the last 8 years of her career to special education in Fulton County. She watched shy Zoe become a Sparkle cheerleader, win a Sparkle Homecoming Queen nomination, and a slew of awards for honor roll, attendance, and being an athlete.
It's rewarding to see your work pour into one of the students and the outcome of it. It's very rewarding.
Zoe's parents can't thank Miss Lewis enough.
And I know I can't even say that it was just me or my husband. I know we laid a foundation, but Banneker and Miss Lewis did so much for Zoe, so much for her.
Against the odds, Zoe graduated high school, class of 2021, and celebrating right by her side, her most consistent and biggest cheerleader, Mrs. Lewis.
We feel the love. My husband feels the love. I feel the love. Zoe feels the love. So it goes both ways. It makes me feel so proud to know that Zoe can accomplish anything that she puts her mind to do.
A big congratulations to Zoe and Mrs. Lewis. Well, happening tomorrow, President Biden expected to visit Tulsa, Oklahoma in honor of the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. This happened between May 31st and June 1st of 1921. A white mob violence destroyed nearly every single building in the Greenwood district of Tulsa, known as Black Wall Street. Black residents filed more than $1 million in insurance claims, all of which were denied.
They had followed sort of the dream of American entrepreneurship that had been taken from them in this brutal act of racist violence. And they still sort of thought or hoped that the law would ultimately provide them some level of recompense. When that did not happen.
No one was ever prosecuted or punished for the massacre. On Tuesday, the city of Tulsa will begin a full excavation and analysis of a potential mass gravesite. Also tomorrow, Gayle King will host a CBS News special, Tulsa 1921, an American Tragedy. The primetime special airs at 10 p.m. on our sister station, CBS 46. And you might not worry about feeling safe because of how you look or who you're with, but it is a major concern for many Metro Atlantans because of their skin color and their sexual identity. CBS 46's Tracy Hutchins tells us about a new app that's aimed at finding safe spaces where people don't have to feel like a target.
This gentleman says that I'm not permitted to dine here. I'm afraid not.
An award-winning movie based on an ugly truth in America that blacks needed a travel guide called The Green Book to find safe spaces out of fear of being killed or attacked as they traveled from the 1930s to the 60s.
It's still uncomfortable in certain spaces to show affection or to say, this is my husband, this is my partner, or to just really relax and be yourself.
And even in 2021, a resource guide is still needed for blacks in the LGBTQ community. This one is called the Lavender Book app.
We are Black LGBT, so we don't have to be Black LGBT friendly. It's who we are.
G&1 Small's own Virgil's Gullah Kitchen and Bar in College Park. It's featured in the Lavender Book app, along with Twisted Soul Cookhouse and Pours on Atlanta's west side.
When you walk into that space, and when a Black LGBT person walks into that space, not only do they feel like they're accepted and it's friendly, but this is ours.
We often don't have access to literal or figurative safe spaces.
David Johns is the executive director of the National Black Justice Coalition that helped create the Lavender Book app. He says with increased violence against blacks in the LGBTQ community, his organization is working to make sure the locations featured in the app are as safe as possible.
We also wanted to be mindful of the ways in which worst case scenarios or bad actors could attempt to try and use this to inflict terror and harm.
And for G and Juan, who've been married for 12 years, they say a rainbow flag out front doesn't always mean they will be welcome.
You never know when you're walking into these spaces if you're going to be accepted or not, if you're going to be able to be yourself. There are plenty of places where you can, but to have an app to know that and to be more intentional about where you're spending your money, to circulate those dollars as well, I think is extremely important.
Tracy Hutchins, CBS 46 News.
The organization that helped create the Lavender Book app is hopeful that it grows to include essential services like healthcare. We have placed a link to the app on our CBS46.com website. Tonight, just weeks before President Biden's summit with Russia's Vladimir Putin, we are learning new details of what appears to be a new Russian cyber attack. The targets were U.S. and foreign government agencies. Microsoft says the hackers targeted approximately 3,000 individual accounts at more than 150 organizations using emails like this one that appeared to be from the government agency USAID.
Russians don't seem interested in stopping it. That's why it's important. It's an informational warfare, and right now they have the upper hand.
The White House says the hack does not change the president's plan to meet with Putin in Switzerland in 3 weeks. New video tonight. Inmates at a jail in California being credited with saving 2 other inmates who overdosed. The incident was captured on surveillance video. Deputies say they were told 2 inmates were in medical distress, but by the time they made it to the dorms, they found several inmates used Narcan to save their fellow inmates. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says they recently implemented a pilot program that provides inmates access to Narcan. The 2 unconscious inmates were sent to the hospital. They later recovered. Atlanta Falcons player Hayden Hurst speaking out about his battle with mental health. Ahead at 9, the encouraging words he gives to his younger self on shaking the stigma. New at 9, filming continues in Atlanta for the independent short film titled Jordan. This movie is about a black girl who discovers a mermaid while on a fishing trip. Filming wraps up tomorrow in the Grant Park neighborhood.
Well, for 16 years, I've been representing Princess Cruises. It's where where I belong.
And we have sad news. Yesterday, the beloved TV actor Gavin Mcleod, best known for his roles on The Mary Tyler Moore Show and The Love Boat. He played Captain Steubing, one of my favorite characters on that show. He has died at the age of 90. After starring on The Love Boat, Mcleod continued to embrace his Captain Steubing character, serving as an ambassador for Princess Cruises. Mcleod's nephew said he died early Saturday morning after months of declining health. He was 90 years old. Two legends in the entertainment industry will be honored during this year's Emmys Awards. Alex Trebek and Larry King have both received posthumous nominations. Trebek was nominated for Outstanding Game Show Host for leading Jeopardy! King was nominated for Outstanding Informative Talk Show Host for his show, Larry King Now. The 48th Annual Emmy Awards will air June 25th on our sister station, CBS 46. Plus, the 74th Annual Tony Awards will also air on our sister station, CBS 46, on September 26th. Mark your calendars here. After the awards, CBS is celebrating Broadway with the Tony Awards presents Broadway's Back. The multi-platform event will celebrate Broadway's return with live performances. And listen to this. Experts say we should all be wearing sunscreen daily, even if you're a person of color. Coming up, Better Call Harry shows us which ones are the safest to use this summer. Welcome back. It's that time of year, the unofficial kickoff to summer, and that means stocking up on sunscreen. But which product works the best? Better Call Harry puts them all to the test.
When consumer reporters sunbathe, it's usually like this. And with so many people outside this weekend, this is the perfect time for Consumer Reports to review sunscreen. Consumer Reports sunscreen testing isn't exactly a day at the beach. To check a sunscreen's SPF, which stands for Sun Protection Factor and is a measure of how well a sunscreen protects against sunburn, lotion and spray sunscreens are applied to the backs of test subjects who then soak in a tub for 40 or 80 minutes, depending on the product's water resistance claim. The area is then exposed to simulated sunlight. The next day, trained experts examine the area for redness. Consumer Reports top lotion is Equate Walmart Sport Lotion SPF 50. The top spray is Hawaiian Tropic Island Sport Spray SPF 30. Which one is better? It's really a personal preference, but what really matters is how you apply the sunscreen.
The right way to apply a lotion sunscreen is to use a teaspoon per body part that's not covered by clothing.
Sprays can be trickier to apply than lotions. It can be harder to judge whether you're completely covering your skin when you use spray.
When you use a spray, you want to hold the can 4 to 6 inches away from your skin and spray until your skin glistens. Then rub it in to make sure you get even coverage and repeat again just to be safe.
Also, never spray your face. Instead, spray the sunscreen into the hands and rub it onto your face. Consumer Reports also recommends being careful using a spray on children because they are more likely to inhale the mist. All of CR's top-rated sunscreens contain chemical active ingredients, but if you prefer a mineral or natural sunscreen, CR's test found California Kids Super Sensitive Tinted Lotion SPF 30 provided acceptable protection.
This is my photographer's kid, Jimmy. Jimmy, look, it's SPF 30. Just, yeah, I know, just don't spray it on your face. I'm Better Call Harry. Have a good weekend with your Consumer Reports. Yeah.
Oh, y'all, did you catch that? It's too cute. Yeah. If you or someone you know needs Harry's help, email bettercallharry@cbs46.com. Well, Carnival Cruise Line has the green light to set sail soon with passengers. The Atlanta-based CDC signed off on parts of Carnival's plans to restart operations from 3 home ports in Texas and Florida. Miami, Carnival, and Galveston all agreed to support the cruise operator with additional public health and operational resources. The line is planning to put 3 ships into service in July.
Now, CBS 46 Pinpoint Weather, certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast.
I'm just looking at our Hartsfield-Jackson camera here, and there are planes going every which way. I was there yesterday a couple of times. It was super crowded. As a matter of fact, we were there in the morning, and my daughter didn't make her flight because the line was 2.5 hours long, and we got there 2 hours and 15 minutes before our flight. But you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about this, which is 77 for the high temperature today, 7 degrees shy of the normal high, which is 84 degrees. Look at the low this morning, 54. So definitely cool for this time of the year, but not close to the record. The record lows are pretty impressive. 44 back in 1984. Our forecast was spot on accurate for today, as it's been all month long, and now 31 straight days that we have been within 3 degrees with our forecast of the actual air temperature. And we expect that to be the case again tomorrow. Tomorrow looking at a high of around 81 or 82. I'll give you that final number tonight at 11 on CBS 46. Right now the temperature is 70 in Atlanta, 70 in Locust Grove, some 60s though once you get outside of the city, all the way down to 60 right now for Carrollton, and in the upper 50s up in Blairsville. Skies are mainly clear out there. Beautiful weather for running today or for a nice walk, and great again tomorrow. Low humidity for us. Maybe you want to do a little bit of fishing tomorrow. Pretty light breeze for us. 61 at 8 in the morning, but mid-70s at noontime, and by 6 o'clock the temperature right around 80. 82 will be the high in Atlanta, and 80 for Canton, about 82 for Athens. So this is still a little bit cool for this time of the year. You see the normal high is 84. It'll be about 84 degrees for Rome and not far from that in LaGrange. Now on Tuesday, it's pretty close to normal across the board. High temperatures generally in the low to mid 80s on Tuesday. And that warm up continues for us on Wednesday with a blend of clouds and sunshine. Looks like mid and upper 80s on Wednesday. Scattered thunderstorms in the forecast for Thursday, and you see some more coming through Thursday night. And again on Friday, some hit and miss storms with us. And in general, we're going to have an easterly wind as we go into next weekend, and that'll bring some humid air our way. It'll also keep the threat of isolated showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. So here's Atlanta's most accurate 7-day forecast. Memorial Day, high temperature around 82. One more cool night for us. Well, I guess tomorrow night's a little on the cool side, just not as cool as it has been. 62 for a low on Tuesday, about 85 in the afternoon. Then you'll need the air conditioning in the middle of the week, mid and upper 80s Wednesday and Thursday. It looks like mid 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those storms next weekend, I expect to be hit and miss. So most of the time it should be dry.
All right, thank you, Fred. And get pinpoint weather and traffic with our CBS 46 streaming app. You can download it in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Atlanta Falcons tight end Hayden Hurst is sharing his own struggles with mental health. It's a decade-long journey that is taking him from the cusp of suicide to professional athlete. CBS 46's Rob Hughes shows us Hurst shared some encouraging words to his teenaged self in the form of a letter.
Dear Hayden, get ready. This is going to be a wild 10 years.
Falcons tight end Hayden Hurst sitting down in the stands at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to detail a decade-long struggle with depression.
Like your beloved Phoenix, life will be radiant and shining. Then suddenly you'll burst into flames and nearly die. Only to be reborn from the ashes to become a first-round NFL pick.
A two-sport athlete in football and baseball, Hurst blossomed into one of the top high school pitchers in the country. But a serious injury in his throwing arm sent the former first-round prospect tumbling down the MLB draft to the 17th round.
You'll wait 2 days to hear your name called. It will damage your ego.
Off to the Pittsburgh Pirates as a 19-year-old. His life really spiraled, developing the yips, ruining his ability to throw with accuracy.
You'll turn to alcohol and drugs to kill the pain. You'll be in a precipitous freefall.
In 2015, just 21, Hurst retired from baseball. But there was another road, walking on to the University of South Carolina football team.
You'll have some success, but the demons of depression will still have a hold on you, and the drugs and drinking will only escalate. After a drunken night on the town, you'll see no escape from the darkness, and in a chaotic moment, you'll make the calamitous decision to take your own life.
Hurst survived, and while sitting in a psychiatric ward, he made himself a promise.
You'll make a decision right there that you will never be in this position again. You'll tell yourself the rebirth starts now.
After several months of therapy, Hurst developed into one of the top tight ends in the country, taken in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Ravens. Off the field, he channeled his own experiences into opportunities for others.
It's a long, tough mental fight. Be ready. Because everyone knows in the end, the Phoenix rises gloriously from the ashes.
Hayden Hurst is in the final year of his contract with the Falcons, but that's just the football player. Hayden Hurst, the person, runs a foundation that strives to support and educate others on their journey through mental health and wellness. Rob Hughes, CBS 46 News.
Rob, thank you. The